Coffee with Connie. Today, my guest star is the fabulous Robin with Roaming with Rover. How are you doing today, Robin?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing good. Um, been busy with YouTube stuff this morning. This afternoon, I plan to get some knitting done and do my shout out video for the month of May, and I'm hoping to work on my knitted stripe beanie tutorial. I finally started getting working on that yesterday, and the funny thing is, at first it did the same thing as the other time I was working on it, where my camera rotated on my
Oh,
phone, and
no.
I had even set it not to rotate. So I don't know why it did that. The other time I didn't set it. So then, I'm like, there's got to be a way to reverse it after the fact. So I did some Googling and I figured it out. And I'm like, yes, I don't have to refilm it yet again.
Nice. Nice.
But I have the brim port finished on it. And I'm hoping to work some on the body of the beanie for the
Hmm.
tutorial today. And and I don't know exactly how long it's going to take me, but once it is done, I do want to do a knit along with it.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So let's see. We have Jackie, Dana, Tina, Roberta, Jody, Roseanne, and Amber here. How are y'all
Hey,
ladies
guys.
doing? And what
Hi,
are
guys.
y'all working on?
I see your names pop up and I go, oh, hi. Like you know I'm waving at you.
And we also have Julia that joined us. Hi, Julia. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? But yeah, I actually got knitting done yesterday.
Nice. I haven't touched my knitting since we're moving. Well, the never ending move since we moved back from Texas. We're back in Washington State now and moving into our house. We literally were in this house for 3 days. We bought it last summer. We were here for 3 days. Then we went to Texas. And of course, we've been working Texas all winter and just got back here a couple of weeks ago. So we're literally moving into the house and dealing with the motorhome and trying to get it emptied and cleaned up. So I haven't even brought all of my projects in. And since we've been here, I'm working on one thing at a time, which is really weird for me. And I don't know if I can get used to it, but that's what I've been doing because I don't even have room to bring in my projects that all the different things I'm working on. So I have not. In fact, the last time I knitted was that hat that I did of yours.
Awesome. And speaking of that hat, it is getting closer to being released. I have one tester that isn't finished with it yet. Um, where the sizing became an issue on that beanie, and some adjustments had to be made to it. Um, so I need to try to touch base with her to see how that's coming along. But one of the ones that was testing it with the increases, she
Hmm.
got hers finished and sent me the picture of hers yesterday.
Oh,
So
good.
the increases seem to work fine. So it should now fit everyone's head better.
Well, that was a lot of fun to make, and it was so nice tackling a project that I didn't realize how far out of my abilities it was, and then actually getting it done. So that was super, super wonderful for me, and I
I think
appreciate you giving me the opportunity.
you're welcome. And I think people get intimidated by color
Mhm.
work because it looks complicated, which there is a little bit more you do need to know to be able to do color work. But for the most part, it's still the same stitches. It's
Mhm.
knit, pearls, and knit two togethers.
Yeah. And I think if you've got any experience working with a chart, you're going to be fine. And that was me. The chart did not intimidate me. Just trying to figure out how to maneuver more than color of yarn at the same time. So, but I did it, and I know that I did it a lot faster than either one of us thought I would be able to. So,
And now the pattern will have knit front and backs.
Oh, okay.
which gives you the increases to increase the body part of the hat, because that's where it gets tight,
Mm-hmm.
because you got to carry your yarn.
Yeah, so much.
and and for some reason that one gave more problems than like my typical color work beanies. But I think I'm going to add increases to the body
Mm-hmm.
from now on, just to make sure that that part fits, isn't snug on people's heads or
Mm-hmm.
anything. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you knit tightly, it affects color work. You have to knit loosely with color work.
Yeah, which I do. I'm a tight knitter. So that makes sense. So you'll have to teach me that whole front and back thing.
I actually have a tutorial on it
Oh,
in
good.
my knitting tutorial playlist. But if you have any questions, just I'll get with you and help you learn the stitch.
Perfect.
Okay, let's see. Julia is working on a knit blanket for her mom. Awesome. Roberta cracks me up. She says, "We can see you wave at us, Robin. I assume it's all about me most times anyway."
And it should be, right?
Oh, Roberta, I saw those new finished projects you made with the bees and all in Barbara's group. They're so cute. Can you post them in my group or email me the pictures? I would love to share that on my finished projects video on the 15th. And for those I don't know, I do have a finished projects video. So whenever you finish making your makes, it can be crochet, knitting, loom knitting, and sometimes I even include other crafts. Sometimes people send pictures like a diamond painting or cross stitching. But if you send me your pictures, I can include them on that video, and I do it on the 15th of each month.
Yeah. If I
And
ever actually finish anything, I will do that.
and I know I love seeing everybody's makes,
Hmm.
and I know others love seeing it too. It gives them ideas of future makes.
Hmm.
Let's see. Dana says she's testing her crochet alone. Oh, you're
Miss
okay.
Miss
You're testing her
Dana,
crochet. Okay, I got it now. I was like, who's she?
I'm working on it as we speak. I'm gonna need some info for you from you.
Let's see. Jackie says I'm working on a summer blouse. I have 7 whips going. Yeah, my whips are growing too. And I really don't like having a lot of whips at once. It's usually one crochet, one knit one, and my temperature blanket. And
That's a good amount.
and the way I do things is I crochet on certain days of the week and I knit on certain days of the week.
Hmm. Well, remember, if you guys remember from my Finish It Friday, I had set up a calendar and each day of the week was assigned a different project. And that was working out really good because I had crochet, I had knit, I had washcloths, I had big projects, little projects. I set one day aside to work on um, things that were in timeout. And that's how I actually got my temperature blanket finished. Was I had all the squares done, but of course I didn't have them finished up. So that's how Finish It Friday got started, and it really worked well until the move. So from March on, everything has been out the window.
Yeah. Let's see. We have Sid that joined us and Samantha. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? And let's see. Roberta says took a break from the pink unicorn and making Batman.
Oh, fun.
Nice. Jackie says I'm more of a crocheter than knitter. I know the basics, but I can't get into it right now. Maybe next year. Yeah, I'm a crocheter and a knitter. And oh, go
This
ahead.
was the
What?
first. Well, I was just going to say this is the first year that I've been knitting. I learned the basics over the years, but I've never enjoyed it. and I never completed anything. And that was my goal this year, was to really understand knitting. And so I had done 2 projects. I did a hat, which was miserable. I mean, it was fun doing it, but it turned out awful. And I will absolutely wear that thing with pride. It has so many errors in it, so many mistakes. And then I did a dishcloth for Pinky Jean. She collects flamingos. If you guys get a chance to go pop over and look at her cute little channel, it's just Pinky Jean. Pinky has 2 E's. And she collects flamingos. So I knitted her a flamingo washcloth, dishcloth, and she loved it. It turned out really cute. Well, then I did that hat for Connie. And that's literally, so basically I've just been knitting this year. So yeah, once you get, and I'll tell you what made all the difference for me, Connie, decent knitting needles. I bought some good quality knitting needles, and I felt like I wasn't fighting with it. Because remember when I started your hat, I wasn't at home, and I had to search all over and buy some knitting needles, and they were just a store brand. And I'm like, no wonder I hated knitting. So buy one pair of good needles in the size you need to work with, something that doesn't matter gauge, like a washcloth or something, and it will change your mind. It made all the difference for me.
See, I learned that the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
I did one of the worst mistakes in knitting possible. I I bought the absolute cheapest
Mm-hmm.
needles that I could find, and especially when it came to the circular
Yeah.
ones. And that is the worst mistake you can do. With knitting, you actually
Mm-hmm.
you need quality needles,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I think
especially circulars,
especially circular. Mm-hmm. If that
because
wire is tight and not bendy, and that was the problem I was having. I'm just like, oh, this is insane. And then I got back to home, got back to the RV, and I had my good set of needles, and I'm like, oh yeah, this makes the difference.
I got the cheapest set I could find on eBay from China, and
Mm-hmm.
the cable that connects to the needles, these had like tubing. It started splitting on me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like, and even whenever I was asking for advice on, what was the cheapest good set of knitting needles you could get, and people were like, you can't skimp.
Mm-mm.
And really, the most affordable good pair is like Knit Picks and
Mm-hmm.
Knitter's Pride.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there are some other ones that, but those were the main ones that I would hear
Mm-hmm.
mentioned. Now
Yeah.
everyone says I can never say it,
The Chiogu.
yeah, or
That's what
they're
I got.
supposed to be
I
the
got
best.
one pair of those, and I got them for Christmas. I asked for somebody for them for Christmas, and they weren't horrific. It was like 15 or $17 on Amazon. And you figure the amount of time you're going to spend using these things and what we spend on yarn, spend $20 on a good pair of knitting needles. And it's something you're going to have for years and years and years. And it literally is the difference between figuring it out and not figuring it out. Oh my gosh, sweet pea. Oh, lucky you. Because I'll tell you what, I looked at a set of those and they were in the hundreds of dollars. So I have one pair, and I'll probably ask for another pair for Christmas again. And I did get a set of, I think it was the Knit Picks, and they were in the neighborhood of $60. It wasn't horrible. So,
And see, like, I do have the Chaigu, or however you say it.
mhm.
I do have them for my soft knit circulars.
Mm,
But I had to buy one that was like the 32-inch and one that
mhm.
was a 9-inch. So it wasn't like I bought a set. So it wasn't
Right.
like it was crazy to
Yeah.
buy those.
Yeah. And I did want to mention, and I've already lost the comment, but I saw somebody say it hurts your arms when you knit, it hurts your hands. Me too. Way more than, and I think because with the crochet hooks, you can get the ergonomics so it's not so tight. But what I found, the one trick that I found was, well, 2 tricks. I put a pillow behind my back, so I'm sitting up straighter, And I think it makes my arms at a more natural position. And I wear I don't have it handy. When I'm knitting, I have a glove. I bought one of those, and I have bought the kind of tan color ones they sell for crafters, but I didn't get that one. I went to Walmart in the as seen on TV section, and they've got one of those gloves, and just the tips of your fingers show through. And I don't know if it's really true or not. The compression part of it absolutely works, but this particular one is supposed to have the copper stuff woven into it. I don't know if the copper has anything to do with it or if it's just the compression, but I'll tell you what, it is the difference between me being able to knit for more than half an hour. Oh yeah, here they are right here. They're just called Copper Fit. I don't know if you can see that name, but you can see how thank you, hon. You can see how my fingers just barely poke out the end. And in fact, in some of my videos where I was showing your hat, you saw me wearing this thing. And when I wear these, I can crochet for hours, or I can knit for hours. For some reason, it doesn't bother me to crochet. Thank you, hon.
Yeah. I found whenever the first time I used number one weighted yarn when I was knitting my first pair of socks, my hand cramped so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it felt like I was grabbing nothing. And,
yes.
I mean, now I don't have that problem anymore, but at first I did.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing too that helps with the hand cramps, you can do like certain types of hand exercises,
yeah.
stuff like this, and little different things like that, and you can like Google that or look on YouTube, and they'll give you suggestions too for the exercises.
Oh, Roberta, you got some special made for you that go up to your elbow. That's a great idea. Because I get cramps up in through here too when I'm knitting, especially like you said with the smaller needles. And I have signed up for a sock class in a couple of weeks. And so I got to make sure and put those in my knitting bag, my project bag to take with me. That's a great idea.
Let's see, we have Brenda that joined us, and also Christina. How are y'all doing today, and what are y'all currently working on? Oh, Nightbot just reminded me of something. I've started doing something new on my lives where I've programmed Nightbot, where if you want your channel link dropped, if you type the word drop in the chat, it will automatically drop your link. And if you don't see it come up, then try it again. Every now and then I think it glitches, but that way it makes it a lot easier for y'all to drop your own channel links, or in case I don't have a moderator.
Oh, I didn't realize that Nightbot did that for you automatically. That's wonderful. Because on my lives, I don't have a lot of moderators either, and so there's sometimes we can't do it at all.
I just discovered it from Melissa with Melissa Crochets with Love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I normally have a moderator, but once in a blue moon, none of my moderators are here when I'm live, and it just makes it easier. Okay, let's see. Oh, I got a super chat.
Dana!
Thank you so much, Dana. You know what time it is? It's biscuit time. Let me play my little video.
Hi, everyone. This is the Biscuit. Thank you for sending Connie a super chat.
And thank you again, Dana. I really, truly appreciate that. Okay, let me find my spot in the chat. Okay. Roberta says she's gonna send those pictures. Awesome. Yeah, those were too cute, Roberta. And I'm telling y'all, whenever I put out my finished projects video on the 15th, y'all gotta see her little bees that she made. They're just too cute. Okay. I see Dana was asking, what is this finished you speak of? Oh, okay, I get it now. I was confused by that. I think she's trying to say that she don't have nothing finished.
Boy, she's always got a lot of projects going on, don't you, Dana? You've always got something cooking. She is one busy gal. She's got some big things coming up too. Y'all need to go over and take a look at her website. She's got stuff cooking.
Yeah, Dana is awesome. And the funny thing is, like my husband Frank the Biscuit, he doesn't crochet or knit or anything, but he's actually familiar with Dana because he used to be a truck driver.
Mhm.
So when she tells her truck driving stories, he likes to hear about that.
Yep. The same with Mister. He was a truck driver for years, and so he's always asking, "Where's Dana? What's she driving?"
Let's see. Sid says she planted more things in her garden. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
And she's working on her own Afghan. Yeah, that's something I do want to eventually make one. I even purchased a pattern for it too, but I don't know when I'm getting to it. I still have 2 blankets that are on pause. And that's the thing with me. Like I said, I don't like having a lot of whips, but you know, I have for crochet, I have 2 blanket whips. One's a blanket I'm designing. The other one is a peppermint blanket. Then I have that Bonnie Bay crochet shawl pattern that I ran out of yarn for. And then I ordered yarn and that didn't come in with my order. It's on back order. They're supposed to send it when it comes in. Then the shawl that I'm designing. Then for knitting, there's my temperature blanket. Then
You're knitting a temperature blanket?
You haven't seen mine yet?
Oh, probably, but I guess I didn't connect with me that it was knit. Oh, and it's funny. I'm like, oh, I can't imagine knitting a blanket, and then I realize I am knitting a blanket. It's one of my whips.
It's all shades of pink.
Yeah, crochet is so much faster, but you probably knit fast too, where I don't.
But this year I just did Afghan size. I didn't do mine as big as the previous years. And then on top of that, there's a lace shawl that I'm knitting.
Ooh.
Then a beanie for my tutorial.
Mm-hmm. And those take a long time when you're doing a tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
They are a lot of work.
And it's so there's that level where I'm not going to have as much accomplished knitting wise this week because of that. But because I was working on that tutorial for quite a while yesterday, and all I got done is the brim. I still have the body of the hat
Mm-hmm.
and the decreases. And I'm like, I don't know how long the tutorial is gonna be. I try to be really thorough. I try to teach like a beginner,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to.
Because I prefer to try to cover everything where you don't have questions, or hopefully you don't have questions. Let's see. We have Mama G that joined us, Ashley. And let's see. I think that's everybody. I want to double check. Yeah, it looks like everybody. How are y'all and what are y'all working on? Okay. Julia was asking about some good knit needles to use. Like we said earlier, the Chowgu. I think it's pronounced Chowgu.
Chowgu, yeah, I don't know. I'm just making it up.
I always have trouble pronouncing it. Those are good. And there's another one, and maybe Aldi or something like that I've heard a lot about. Knitter's Pride is one. Knit Picks.
You know what I saw the other day, and I wondered about it. I haven't bought any, haven't tried them. Is the Prim, because their crochet hooks are really good. And I happened to see some when I was searching for needles to work on your hat. They had some Prim needles, which I'd never seen before, and they were at Joann's. But then I think I want to say I saw them at Hobby Lobby too, but of course they didn't have the size I needed. That was a problem. I went to 5 stores and nobody had a basic 8 or 9 knitting needle. That was what was getting to me. But I wonder about the Prim needles because I like their crochet hooks.
See, my advice is if it's a brand that's not one of the ones that I said, I would like ask like in Facebook groups and try
Mm-hmm.
to find out if anyone else has had experience with them and how they like them. Because like I said, it's very important to get a good set.
Mm-hmm.
And now in the same aspect, everyone does have different preferences. Like
Yeah.
one thing they advise is when you're starting off, it's best to start with bamboo because of drop stitches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little clingier to the yarn.
Mhm. Where the aluminum, they're more likely to drop
Yeah,
off.
slides
But,
better.
but with aluminum, it tends to help build your speed,
Yes.
which like once
And spend $2 and get the little thingy that goes on the end of the needle so you don't drop your stitches when you're moving
yes,
things around.
yes, in caps. And I stress that in my tutorial too. Use those end caps.
Mm-hmm. They got some real cute ones out there too. And if you don't want to spend the $2, take a rubber band and put it around the end of it. It won't work as well, but I just, if I had, I close it up like this, and then I put a rubber band around the end of it, and it holds it together
And another thing I do is like when I put my work down, I push my
all the
stitches
way to the
back
end. Yep. Yep.
on the needle. Like really I tend to push them back to the cord
Mm-hmm.
because the closer they are to that tip of that needle, and that end cap can pop off sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So that's my advice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Well, good advice.
and one thing too, and some people, they stay with bamboo. They really love bamboo. They
Mm-hmm.
don't care for aluminum. It's some of it's preference,
Yeah.
but that's typically what they say, and I find I agree with it with my experience. Bamboo's better for beginners,
Mm-hmm.
and then once you get more experience, then I tried the
Mm-hmm.
aluminum. Well, I kind of did start with aluminum my very initially.
What a great idea, Roberta. What a great idea. She says to use earplugs instead of the end caps. They don't pop off as easy, and you can buy a whole bag of them for $1. So then when you lose
Oh,
it, that's a fabulous idea. I am so doing that.
yes, Roberta. I'm gonna do that
Woohoo.
too.
She needs a shout out. Woohoo! I don't have anything. I need to get something.
I lose my end caps.
Yeah. And you can buy a little container of those ear plugs for just next to nothing at the dollar store, and you'll have 20 or 30 of them in there. You are smart, Roberta. No wonder your son-in-law likes you best.
Yeah. Well, especially Sophie, she likes to
Play with them. Mm-hmm.
knock
Off
them
they go.
down. And let's see, we have Daphne that joined us. Hi, Daphne. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? But yeah, that is a good idea.
That is a great. I'm so getting some of those today. And that is also the reason anytime possible I use cabled needles, because you're less like, and it's only when you're picking them up. You pick them up, you can put that thing down on the cable, and you're much less likely to drop them off. And you work exactly the same. You still flip it around and stuff the same. But I just particular for me, I find it's much easier to not drop my stitches. And I do know, and I don't know the exact details because, my brain is like mush, but I do know that wood and some fibers do not play well together. And I want to say it was if you're using real wool or maybe alpaca, that the wood So like your bamboo needles or the wood, like the wooden ferrule hooks, those kind of things, they fight each other. And I think it's because of the drag there. And so in that situation, you may need to switch to a different kind of a needle. That's just something that I learned I haven't
I
noticed.
never heard that, but I can see where that could, because the bamboo stick, it's more sticky.
Hmm.
I guess is the way to describe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Brenda says she's doing better now, just allergies flaring up. She's working on a couple of caterpillars for her mom. Yeah, I hope
I
I
bet
hope
those
your
are darling.
I hope your allergies stop acting up. But unfortunately, it's that time of year.
Hmm.
Ashley's doing a jigsaw puzzle.
Ooh, what's the picture?
Roberta says,
Like,
I need to. Oh, go ahead.
no. I was just going to say, I like to keep a jigsaw puzzle out on the dining room table. I won't sit and work at it for a long time, but I'll just drop 2 or 3 pieces in and then go on my merry way until I had cats. We quit doing that.
Roberta says, you need to finish that shawl you're designing. We were just talking about it on Borber's Live yesterday. Um, I really should get it finished for my next Crochet Tuesday video. Or at the very most, maybe the following one. But it should be finished for the next one. And then I have to write up the pattern, which I'm gonna have to kind of figure out how to write everything up on that. Because y'all got to realize this is my first shawl pattern that I've done, and with crochet, I haven't written that many patterns for crochet yet. So I got to kind of learn how to write certain things up, and then of course get it tested.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Brenda. She says she loves my temperature blanket. I've gotten a lot of compliments on that blanket. Dana saying, tell the hubbies that I'm leaving Lodi and headed for the Bay Area to pick up a sugar load that goes to Ontario, California.
Oh, so you picked up your load in Lodi and headed to the Bay Area. Okay. So you're going to be in California all day.
Sweet. See, I don't think I ever went to California with Frank when he was a truck driver. I mean, I have been to California, but that was like back when I was in the Navy to visit my stepbrother and his wife. I went to the San Francisco area. It's beautiful there.
It is. It is. We lived there for about a year when my ex was in the service and he was stationed there. And we lived in Castroville, California, the artichoke capital of the world.
Let's see. Mama G's attempting to dye cotton yarn.
Yeah, I saw that in your video, Mama G. I'm really excited about that. I want to try something simple, just like with the Kool-Aid or something. But, on my many, many lists of things I want to do. But I'm excited to see how that works out for you.
And we also have Mimi Cat Do here and Quilty Crocheter. And I'm trying to remember Quilty Crocheter's name. At least I think I should know your name. But let me know what your name is, Quilty Crocheter. And how are y'all? And Jamie's here too. How are y'all? And what are y'all working on? Oh, also, Christy's here, Yarn Bar. Same questions. I think that's everyone that joined us. And if I missed anyone, I do apologize. Oh, Alice is here. Same questions, Alice. I've gotten 4 behind on the chat today.
Well, we're just too busy chatting.
It's funny, some lives, it's, I'll read the comments in the chat more, others, we get more into chit-chatting and other things, and it's like you never really can predict how a live's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Christina says, only working on dishcloth series of Rose Cottage Studio and a
Mm-hmm.
mystery crochet along with creations by Christy. We'll be starting a cardigan for my daughter soon.
Yeah, I'm doing a series of dishcloths. They weren't intended to be dishcloths. It was supposed to be squares for a blanket. But I hate, shouldn't say hate. I really dislike putting squares together because they aren't all the same size when I'm done. And so I went to Crazy Poppy Lady, and she's doing a stitch of the week. And so each week she's doing a different stitch, and I'm just making it into a dishcloth.
But how Christina was talking about crochet along, whenever I get my striped knit beanie tutorial up, I do plan to do a knit along with that. And whoever makes the beanie, send me a picture of it, and I will put you in a draw. Put your name on the wheel thingy and pick a winner for a prize. So that's my plan with that tutorial.
That'll be good. And
And
when you're thinking of starting that?
I don't know exactly. It's whenever I get
Yeah.
it finished.
I understand.
Another thing too is like I got to film in between. Like Frank does his waiter deliveries, and he uses the phone for that. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of have to do it whenever he's not working on any waiter deliveries,
Mm.
and I'm not busy doing anything else. So that's where it takes me longer to do tutorials. One of the factors. But see, my vlogging camera, I really don't trust my vlogging camera that much anymore. And I find it doesn't do the best job on tutorials. It kind of gives a fuzziness where it's not as clear of quality. But really, I stopped using it on my regular videos too. I find the camera phone tends, looks better.
Mama G, what are you ordering? If you're shopping, we need to know.
Yes. And that's one thing when you look at yarn online, it's like you're just like, oh, I'm only going to be a few minutes. Then 2 hours or so passes, and you're still looking at yarn. Let's see. Roberta's starting to think about doing needle felting. I've never tried that. Let's see. Let's see. Daphne says she's working on some granny squares for a blanket she started years ago. Yeah, I worry my peppermint blanket's going to be one of those projects. 5 years from now, I'm still working on it.
I found something the other day, and it was a needlepoint that I've been working on for at least 12 years because I remember I started it when I had a surgery, and that was what I did as I was recovering. So I must have just set it aside when I started feeling better. But when I moved, I found it. It's still in the bag. Everything is still there. Luckily, the instructions and the yarn and everything's right there. And I'm like, oh, I still like this picture. So I'll get that finished. It's in my pile now.
Okay, quilty crocheter's name is Kathy. Okay, so we actually have two Kathys, Mimi Cat and Quilty Crocheter. Lately it's like more and more I'm seeing like people on my lives with the same names. One time I think there was either 5 or 6 crystals at one time in my life. Oops, hold up, my chat just jumped. I lost my place. Okay, give me just okay. I found it. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm confused. No, I see Linda now. So quilty crocheter, is your name Linda or Kathy? Okay.
I think she's saying her name is Linda.
Okay. We also have another Kathy, Kathy McReynolds. How are you doing today and what are you working on? You know, one thing we never got into, and we're 40 minutes into the live. I never got to have you tell everyone more about yourself and your channel, Robbin.
Oh, well, my name's Robbin, Roaming with Rover. We started out, my channel has morphed. Originally, we were a channel about traveling in an RV with our dogs. That's how we got the name Roaming with Rover. And I actually started about 4 years ago, and then life got in the way, and I quit posting for probably 2 years. And it wasn't until we landed last summer in Texas, working in the oil fields, and I found myself with many hours on my hands where we couldn't leave, and I had to be able to jump up, and you guys have seen me do that many times on my videos, jump up and go out the door to take care of truckers. And so that's when I picked up the crocheting again and started watching all of the videos, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll start videoing again, and here we are.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm seeing that quilty crocheter says her name is Linda. Sorry about the confusion, Linda. So do you have any whips
Thank
or
you, Mom.
finished objects you want to show everybody?
I can only give you a peek of what I'm stealthily working on here, and I'll just bunch it all up because I'm doing a test pattern for Dana's Wanderlust Crochet. She's going to be doing a crochet along this fall, and I was blessed to be able to test the pattern for her, one of her testers. And so that's what I'm currently working on. And like I said, this weird thing where I'm only working on one thing at a time. It is bizarro. But that has kind of what I have morphed into. It's not going to stick, I can tell you right now, because I'm itching to get back to my other projects. But since I've been here and we're moving and we're unpacking and doing all the things, when we got here, I was making a blanket for a friend of mine who's ill, and I really wanted to get that done and sent back to Texas for her. So, and you guys saw me working on that pretty blue blanket for a while. I finished that and got that sent down, and she loves it. And she's actually doing a little better. Her treatments are working, and even within just a couple of weeks, her cancer is getting better. So we're just really happy about that. And then next Tuesday, I'm hitting the road. So my live is going to be a live on the road to Seattle. So I hope you guys pop in and see that. I don't know the exact time because I can't pin Mr. down to when we're leaving. And it wouldn't matter anyway because he'll tell me 8 o'clock, and at 6 in the morning, he'll be going, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" So I've done this a few times. So as soon as we get out on the road, we'll do a live on the road, and you guys can watch me because we're going to Seattle. We get to go on a cruise to Alaska. So I made this. I made a cowl. I've always wanted to make a cowl, and it worked up really quick. I fought with the pattern, but I figure it's a cowl that I'm going to wear. Nobody's going to be able to tell, this stitch or that stitch. And I love the way it turned out. It's really pretty. I made it a little longer than the pattern said because I'll just throw it on. I have no shame. I wanted it to be able to go up over my nose and my ears if it got that cold and windy. Because sometimes you just need another extra layer there. And so that's the cowl that I finished. And this was a kit. Either Hirschner's or Mary Maxim. I don't remember which company it was, but it was the pattern, and it was one ball of mandala watercolor. No, mandala ombre yarn, and I didn't even use the whole ball. Probably 2/3, 3/4 of it. There's quite a bit left. I loved working with that yarn. It worked like a dream, and I like the way the colors just kind of morph into each other. It's not a sudden color change. I don't like that.
It's beautiful.
So thank you. So I'm really excited to be able to wear this next week in Alaska. And then my test pattern. So that's it for me. I have stacks of stuff, and I have many ideas, and of course my whips are all, some are still in the motorhome, some are in a bin here, but I can't even get to it. So, and then I'm probably gonna start, I'm gonna start a shawl that I have the yarn for set aside. I needed something simple that I don't have to pay, do a lot of counting or anything to take on the cruise with me. I can't take this with me because there's too many different colors involved. But so it's just one skein of yarn and a simple, one hook, simple. So I'll take that with me. So maybe I'll finish something on the cruise as well.
Awesome. And that time that you went to Roswell, you should have packed me along with you.
I should have. And I'll tell you what, we broke down, right? That's when we had our first breakdown, was right outside of Roswell. And that was a nightmare, is what that was.
And you should have found an alien and brought him back with you.
Yes. I think I have an alien on board.
Can you imagine a little alien riding in the back seat of your vehicle? No. But I like to picture them as being the little cute green ones.
Oh, yeah. They're cute. Yeah. They have so many. I mean, it's like every store has a sign with the aliens. And even the street lights, the white part of the globe has eyes painted on it. Where am I here? Eyes painted on it like aliens. And so it was so cute. They really did a good job of making that a fun little town.
But yeah, it's like, I don't like the scary looking aliens. I like the little cutesy ones.
Yeah.
I'm all about the cutesy. But yeah, if y'all haven't checked out Robbin's channel, please go check her out. Her channel link is in the description box of today's live, and it's pinned to the top of the chat. And if one of my moderators could drop her link, that would be awesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I would appreciate having anybody pop over. Basically, it's different all the time. Let's just say that. I start out with this schedule, and then it doesn't work out that way. I was doing really good with finish it Friday every week. Again, everything went to heck in a handbasket when we moved. So I still try to throw up a finish it Friday, which I'm looking at tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. And then I used to do something on Tuesday every week. And what has taken that place is my lives. And I've been real good about having a live every week. Once in a while, I have to change. Typically, it's 10 o'clock Central, which is 8 o'clock Pacific, which is where I actually am. But I'm so used to saying Central that if I have to change a time or a date, it's to accommodate my guest. And I think that's the most important thing rather than my schedule. So as a rule, let's just say Tuesday mornings. But I do know I've got one coming up that's going to be on a Monday because my gal works on Tuesdays. And have a lot of different guests. And of course, Connie, you will be on there at one point. I've got a couple people I'm keeping in my back pocket for when I can't get anybody else. And then, because I know how busy you are, you do so many things. I hate to bother you guys with more stuff. And so, but yeah, I try real hard to get a variety of people on there that folks like to learn more about. And I've gotten real good response to it. And then a lot of unboxings. And I do have something. I should get all the final details in line this week. And then I'm going to have a big announcement here in a couple of weeks. I'm hoping, like I said, on my way to my cruise, we're going to be doing a live as we're driving. And so the week after, I'm hoping I'll have my announcement. I hope I'll have everything lined up by then. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, so it's really hit and miss with me right now. I'm trying to get back on a schedule, and I'll just I throw them up when I get them. I'm involved in a couple collaborations. I'm doing your Just Because collab. And we were just talking about that. I might have a little monkey wrench in my collab because I didn't take into account when I said the date that was going to end. I believe I said it was the 20th. And I'm going to be on a cruise ship in the middle of nowhere with no internet. So it may end on the 18th. So if y'all haven't got in there and done your thing on mine, get in there and do it, because I'm probably going to have to do the drawing a couple days early. And I'm in another collab, and I'll be darned if I can remember which one it is.
Is it
Maybe
Cindy?
that one ended. Nope, I can't remember.
Crystal had hers, and then that one ended.
That
and
one
now
ended.
Cindy has hers going on. With
Is that the
custom
pups?
crochet.
Yeah, I decided not to get into that one because I knew I had my cruise coming up, and I thought, oh, this isn't going to be right. So that one I did bail on. Sorry. But oh, that's right. And then the giveaway that I had ended the other day. It ended much quicker. Wow. I was doing a race. We had a race to 1,000 with Amber from Fostering Crochet. What a hoot that was. And we just thought that thing up out of the blue and ran with it. And we honestly thought it was going to take us a month to finish that thing. And we had this plan of every week getting on there and talking about our updates. You guys got us there in 2 days.
Awesome.
And we were shocked. We had no idea. And I thank you guys all again, because it's all about you guys. It's all about you guys. That's the other thing. I got to get that gift mailed off today.
And
so
congratulations on
thank
reaching
you.
1K.
And Amber is monetized now. She already had her watch hours, so she's monetized. So what that means for you is and same with Connie, and same with Crystal, and any of those people that are monetized, you have to watch the commercial or they don't get paid. And you only have to watch 30 seconds of it if it's one of those big, great long ones. But if it's less than 30 seconds, you got to let the whole thing run. That's how they get paid, and that's how YouTube stays free for you and for us.
I see Laura.
I'm not. I don't have to worry about it.
I see Laura Lee joined us. Hi, Laura Lee. How are you? And what are you working on? And there's a couple of things I do want to mention to y'all before I forget. On my live on Saturday, there's going to be a nice little surprise at the end. Gina with Knitting Turnpike has been very generous, and she made a donation for a little giveaway at the end. So make sure y'all catch that live.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Hey, Spring.
Hi, Spring. How are you? And what are you working on? Yeah, she said she couldn't. She did that because she couldn't participate in my collaboration giveaway. So
that was so sweet of her.
I know she's so sweet.
She's going to be a guest on my live. In 3 weeks, I believe. Keep a look for that.
And also another thing I'm plotting is I'm planning to do another collaboration giveaway for the month of December.
December? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. To, of course, celebrate Christmas. And I do have some little fun ideas for it because I want to make this one fun. And it's also going to be to celebrate my 2-year anniversary on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
So, keep that in mind. And, if you're a channel, there's a good chance you might get an email from me, or just keep it in mind too, because even if you don't get an email, you can always contact me and let me know that you want to participate. But I'll be announcing it more when it gets closer to that time. Right now, it's still way too in advance to plan too much. but yeah.
That's a ways off.
Exactly. But I started thinking, I'm like, because how I did the whole thing on Cindy's collab, where I have people saying what song they would like me to serenade Cindy with, it got me thinking, I want to make mine more fun next time I do a big collab. So I have some little ideas. And for those that don't know, I really do serenade Cindy. It's like we clown around and stuff, and so I'll sing in my horrible singing voice, and I'll change up lyrics to songs, and she'll tell me that I'm nuts and that the biscuit needs to get me under control.
At least someone can control you.
Because like, I had gotten some ideas from the comments of
Hmm.
songs to sing to her. So the other night, I'm singing "How Much Is That Doggy in the Window" with Frank barking in the background, and we did that with "Who Let the Dogs Out."
Woof, 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 woof. That used to be my karaoke song. Who let the dogs out? That's been a while.
So, like whenever I do the Christmas one, I'm gonna come up with like a funny question to ask.
That'll be fun.
We have Linda that joined us. Hi, Linda. Well, this is a different Linda. Linda Maria Gonzalez Brenner. How are you doing and what are you working on? But yeah, we have two Lindas with us right now. Okay, so we're going to ask some coffee questions. So I want to know how, for those that drink coffee, that is, if you don't drink coffee, let me know what your beverage of choice is. Okay, how do you feel if you want a cup of coffee and can't have one? Do you get cranky, Robin?
No, because I drink my coffee usually first thing in the morning and then I switch. I'm more likely to get cranky if I can't get a Diet Pepsi when I want one.
Yeah, I don't really get cranky if I don't have coffee. Now I
Mm-mm.
might feel more tired, but I have days and I go in periods where I don't drink any coffee all the time.
Mhm.
But I love me some Starbucks.
Yeah, I actually don't like coffee. I like cream. And so the coffee is just a vehicle for my creamer.
And let's see. Linda says she's working on a Sesame Street blanket for her
Ooh,
grandbaby boy. Nice.
nice.
Sid says she's fine with or without coffee. Linda, Quilty Crocheter, says she gets a headache. Mama G says yes to everything coffee. Christina gets a headache without coffee. Ah, there's a cranky one. Laura Lee gets very cranky. It's her choice of beverage all day. Not all is caffeinated. Brenda says I need my coffee. Linda says, man, oh man, if I don't have my coffee first thing in the morning, I get a mean migraine headache and I get very moody.
My late husband, he was a truck driver too, but I seem to collect them. Um, he would get up if he'd wake up at like 1 or 2 in the morning. He'd make a pot of coffee, drink the whole thing, and then go back to bed.
Frank, he used to do this when he made his coffee. He would make a big pot of coffee, fill the grinds all the way to the top, and only use about this much in his cup, where he basically does coffee milk,
Hmm.
where it's more milk than coffee.
Yeah.
And I finally told him, it's like, if you're only using that much coffee, why don't you like reduce it to like half a pot or a fourth of a pot
Hmm.
and then adjust the grinds accordingly? Because I'm like, you're wasting coffee.
And it's expensive.
And he loves his community coffee.
That's a southern thing, isn't it? We don't have that in northern states. I
Yeah.
was in Louisiana, I think, the first time I saw that.
It's based in Louisiana, but there are some other states that do have it.
Hmm. Yeah, I've seen it in other states, but that's the first time I saw it was when we were in Louisiana and Mississippi. They had it there too.
It's a Louisiana thing.
Mhm.
Mama G says, I live on coffee all day and night. Zola, hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Zola says, coffee question nothing. And let's see. Linda says, I'm the same way. I actually have to have a cup of coffee before going to bed. Okay. So the next question, I'm curious for y'all coffee drinkers. How do you drink your coffee?
Well, I have two things. I either have cream or, and I mean, when I say cream, I mean the flavored creamers. Um, this morning it's a cappuccino caramel something. But usually in the mornings I have coffee and I have a protein shake in it. And so it's either just like the Premier Protein from Costco. And so I'm like about half with a protein shake and the rest is coffee. And so for the most part, that's what I'm doing with my coffee in the morning is getting a protein shake in. So I'm making kind of my own latte.
Awesome. For me, it's usually of course a coffee, and y'all know I love my Starbucks, and that's another thing I want to know your favorite brand of coffee. Um, and then I put some coffee creamer. I like the flavored coffee
Trader Joe's
creamers,
coffee over by the coffee.
and I pretty much like pretty much any of the flavored coffee creamers.
Mhm.
The only one I didn't like was the Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
And then I put stevia in mine, but
Mhm.
that's how I take my coffee. And what's your favorite brand of coffee, Robin?
Well, I just sent Mister to get it for you because it's kind of a specialty thing. I can only buy it at Trader Joe's. And it only comes out in the fall and they only get a certain amount of it. And so in where we live, there are two Trader Joe's, but when we were staying in Texas, there were no Trader Joe's. So this is my favorite coffee. It's called, where's the camera? Pumpkin spice coffee from Trader Joe's.
Ooh,
This is the can. It comes ground. But the cool thing about, this one's not open. I'll open it. The cool thing about it is it's not just a flavored coffee. Oh, it smells like heaven. Oh, it's so good. Can you see the bits in there?
ooh,
It has orange in it and it has vanilla. It's orange peel, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, ground vanilla beans, and pumpkin spice flavor. So it's got the real stuff in there. It's
ooh,
not just
sweet.
flavored coffee. I
And,
buy 30 cans of this every fall and we drink on it all year round. And when it goes away, I'm very, very sad. But when I get low, I take it and I split it half and half. I cut it half and half with Folgers. So
and
that's what I have in my cup every day.
that's another thing I want to know. Is, for those of y'all watching, are you a pumpkin spice fan when it comes to coffee? I am.
Oh yeah.
And Julie, if you're watching, pumpkin spice rules.
Yep. PSL at Starbucks.
Yeah, Julie Chaffee Ma says she's not a fan of pumpkin spice, and we joke around about it all the time.
And this, because it's all real ingredients, it doesn't have that chemically taste that some of them have. And the aromas and the flavors are so good. But don't you guys go buying up all my coffee this year. I'm back home now, so I've got two locations where I can get it from.
And one thing too, speaking of Julie, keep her in y'all prayers. She's been in the hospital, and she has a lot going on medically. So please keep her in y'all prayers. So Spring says she takes coffee to bed. I like that. Christina says in Washington there are coffee stands everywhere.
There are more here than some of the other places I've been to. You know, and it started with the Starbucks, but actually, like where we are now, and there is literally, you can't go a mile without a coffee stand, but um, it's probably 10 Starbucks or one Starbucks to every 10 coffee stands. There are so many independent ones. And I love the independent ones. I actually, you know, it's like everything else. Your name brand costs more. Um, I find that the independent ones have a much better selection. But if you're looking for consistency, you got to go to the Starbucks. But for years and years and years, I would not drink Starbucks. I didn't like them. I thought it tasted burned. I didn't like, they had very few flavor selections. And I can go to an indie place and they'll have 100 different choices of flavors. And still, Starbucks has, you know, 5. They finally changed their brew and it's not as strong, it's not as bitter now. And so I do like it better. But again, I don't like coffee. So I don't really want to taste the coffee. I want to taste all the other stuff. And I have been in Seattle. I have been to the original first Starbucks stand ever. And it's this teeny tiny little thing. If you guys have never been there, it's down at Pike's Place Market. And it's an indoor shop and it's very narrow and kind of deep. But yeah, so I have been to see that one.
I see Lisa joined us. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing today? Lisa the Grammy. And Christy, it's Julie Chaffee Mazza that's in the hospital. And you know, she has a good bit going on.
Mm.
So please keep her in your prayers. And let me get back to the coffee comments. Brenda says milk and sugar. Linda with Linda Quilty Crocheter says black coffee. And Christy says, I am not coherent until I have my first cup of joe.
See, I'm just as likely to grab a Diet Pepsi first thing in the morning.
Laura Lisa, she uses coffee to control her adult ADD. I'm a mess without it. Can't stay focused on anything. Sid says iced coffee with a little bit of creamer.
I like the iced coffees as well.
Christy says milk and liquid, no calcium sweetener. Laura Lee drinks it black. Christy says no calorie sweetener. Linda says my coffee got to be sweet with hazelnut creamer or caramel macchiato creamer. Yeah, I love the caramel macchiato.
Hazelnut is my second favorite. If I don't have the pumpkin, I'm grabbing hazelnut.
See, I like hazelnut, but I don't go towards hazelnut that often. But I do like it though. But I have to be in the mood for it. Brenda says Maxwell House Original. Spring says hot lukewarm ice black to tad bit of creamer in Splenda. Linda Quilty Crocheter says Javalia.
Javalia, that's good stuff.
And I love the flavored coffees. Flavored. But funny days lately, I've been just drinking like the regular, you know, blends of Starbucks. Mama G says Hershey or Nestle chocolate powder and creamer. Christy said her dad drank coffee black. Spring says no to store yucks. But I love Starbucks. It's like I find there's like this bite that Starbucks has that you know other coffees don't. Christina says depending on how strong the coffee is, and enjoy every. I'm not sure what she said at the last part. Christy says the truck stops have pumpkin spice in the fall. I love it. Oh yeah, I love the seasonal coffees when they come out. And like Community Coffee has a Mardi Gras blend. Mama G says Dunkin', Tim Hortons, and Wegmans coffee.
Now, Tim Hortons, isn't that just Canada, or are they down in the U.S. too?
I think they're in the U.S.
I've never seen one.
I've never bought them, but I want to say I've seen them in the store. But
Probably, yeah, maybe in the stores.
I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that though. Christina says my go-to coffee is Starbucks espresso, and I grind my own beans. And we have a coffee grinder too, but we tend to buy it already grounded.
Crafty, do you grind your coffee fresh every morning when you make it?
Let's see, we have
Allergic to
Carol.
oranges.
We also have Carol and Amy that joined us. How are y'all doing, and what are y'all working on? And Linda says that sounds delicious, but I wouldn't be able to drink it because I'm allergic to oranges.
Yeah.
You see, like I love satsumas, which is kind of like pretty much like an orange.
Oh, that's those little, the little ones,
They're
like
not
the
that.
halos, kinda.
They're a little bigger than halos.
Mhm.
I find it's kind of like a cross between oranges and a tangerine.
Mm.
They're easy to peel like a tangerine, but they don't have all the seeds like a
Mm-hmm.
tangerine.
Yeah.
Christina says no to pumpkin spice. Spring says pumpkin puke.
Good. More for me.
Lisa likes pumpkin spice.
Mhm.
Sid loves it, but not in her coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Lori,
Pumpkin spice, everything. Everything.
and I used to not like pumpkin spice, but the thing was, I never actually tried it. I just turned my nose up at it. So I finally tried it and I liked it. Laura Lee says, I don't like any flavored coffee, just black. Linda says it's weird because I can smell the oranges. I just can't drink or eat it.
Hmm.
Yeah, you never know how allergies will affect a person. Christina hits up Trader Joe when she gets over the mountain.
Love Trader Joe's. And now there's one, maybe 2 miles from my house. I'm so excited.
And Linda Quilty Crocheter says she likes baked goods for pumpkin spice.
Mm-hmm.
And Christy says, I usually make a pumpkin spice cake once a week and enjoy it with Cool Whip. That's what I had for dinner last night. And let's see. Lisa says, I had coffee place, Lulu's Coffee and Bagels in Oklahoma, brought from Alaska, but now I live in Kansas and I just have to make my own coffee every day. I grew up on Germany style coffee. See, like in Louisiana, like one of the popular places in New Orleans is oh, I can't think of the name of it.
Oh,
Oh,
it starts with an M.
Cafe Dumont.
Cafe Du Monde. Cafe Du Monde.
The,
I've been there.
the coffee and
Coffee and
beignets.
bagels. Or not bagels, beignets. Coffee and beignets. Cafe au lait and beignets.
I can't believe I couldn't think of the name of it. Oh, I see that Melissa must be done with her live. Melissa Raid.
Oh,
Lisa says I put in flavored creamers. And Lisa says I will drink it hot, cold, ice blended.
you know, Lisa, you talk about iced coffee. When we are originally from Georgia, where it's hot a lot of the time, and they drank iced coffee there, and it was literally just coffee over ice, just like you'd have iced tea. It was iced coffee. And so I drank that for years and years before it became a thing at the coffee houses. And people would think I was just absolutely nuts because I'm up here in the north in Washington State and I'm drinking iced coffee instead of iced tea or, something like that. But we drank it for forever. It was just perfectly common.
I love the frappuccinos. Ooh,
Mhm.
those are good.
Ooh,
Sid says
cinnamon roll.
peppermint
Yeah.
mocha or cinnamon roll is my favorite creamer. Yes, and I recently tried the cinnamon roll one. Ooh, that is awesome.
So good.
Christy says, my favorite from Starbucks is the caramel macchiato. I drove 743 miles straight on one cup of that stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, between the sugar and the caffeine, you're flying.
Christy says, I was driving for FedEx at the time.
Mm.
Carol says, we buy our coffee beans green and roast them at home.
Wow. Did it take a lot of practice to get to a roast that you liked? That's something we haven't tried. I might have to try that.
And Christy says, they are all over in Canada.
Hmm.
They are affectionately referred to as Timmy's.
Timmy's, yeah. I knew they were in Canada all over. Oh, we're going to Canada. Maybe I'll see one there. We're going to be one of our stops on our cruise is Vancouver. Vancouver? Yeah. So maybe we'll see a Timmy's there.
Awesome. And
I'll
I
have to
see
look for it.
Brittany joined us. Hi, Brittany. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And Lisa says strong coffee. And yeah, military coffee.
Talk about strong coffee. Mm.
Yeah, Lisa. Like I said, Satsumas are kind of a cross between an orange and a tangerine. But they don't stay in season long. But oh, I love them. Sid says Tim Hortons I know are in Northeast states and Canada.
Okay.
And let's see. Sid says pumpkin roll with cream cheese filling. My
Oh.
husband begs me to make pumpkin rolls.
Mm-hmm. Mister's mom used to make those.
And Christy says her mom drank iced coffee 60
Mm-hmm.
years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Jamie says, I love iced coffee. It's one of my summer go to treats when I'm out and about. Spring says, that's how my grandfather always drinks coffee. He would trick the kiddos and said it was soda. Oops. And Christy says, cowboy coffee is strong too. Carol says, I'm working on a baby blanket for a preemie and I've got coffee in my cup. Awesome. And Lisa says, years of military coffee, that's the way Germans drink it too. And Brittany's working on a round blanket. Okay, Linda, Quilty Crocheter, I hope you have a good day
Hey, Crystal.
and make it an amazing day. Hey, Crystal, how are you doing today? And what are you working on? Okay, so I'm going to show y'all some free patterns, the crochet beanie patterns that I found on Ravelry. And after I show the patterns, we're going to start wrapping things up. Um, and most of these are farm animals, but one, it's still an animal, but it's not actually a farm animal. But they're really cute, and I thought y'all would enjoy these patterns. And all the links for them will be in the description box of today's live. You never know what I'm going to come up with
Yeah.
the patterns I show.
Carol, you're talking about that chicory coffee. Yes, we drank that in the South and it's horrible.
Okay, the first pattern is called Fantasy Zebra Hat by Julie Black Designs.
So cute.
And look at how cute.
That is
I think this,
darling.
or you can do it in the traditional colors too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in those colors, that looks like a little piggy to me, which is also adorable.
Oh, I'm going to be showing a pig beanie. And I love cutesy stuff.
Bye, Spring.
Oh, okay, have a good day, Spring. Okay, the next pattern is a cow hat by Sarah Zimmerman.
Oh,
And look at
oh,
and that's
adorable.
Repeat Crafter Me. She has a
Adorable.
website for
Mm-hmm.
patterns too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bought a lot of her patterns.
Yeah, I like a lot of her patterns. And the next one, I think Jamie has to go too. I hope you have a good day, Jamie. The next one is the Pig Hat by Sarah Zimmerman.
Oh,
Isn't that too cute?
look at those ears. Just darling.
And I love the braids on Beanie.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one, I have two more to show y'all. Okay, Jamie says she's still here. Okay. I thought I saw someone telling you bye in the chat, so I thought you were leaving. This is a tiger hat by Kristen Tremblay. Sorry. And look at how cute. And here's
Um,
another picture of it.
the front of that reminds me of Tigger, isn't it Tigger? The
There's
bouncing,
Tigger
yeah.
or Tony the Tiger
Mm-hmm.
from Frosted Flakes. It's great. Or no, it's They're Great. Sorry, I got it wrong. It's been a while since I've seen those commercials.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the last one for y'all unicorn lovers. Unicorn Cupcake Beanie by Crazy
Oh,
Cabbage. And
that
isn't
is
that too cute?
awesome.
That's one of these days I'm gonna get around to making, and probably most of these beanies I showed. And here's another picture of it.
Just adorable.
So those are the patterns I'm sharing today. And like I said, all the patterns are linked in the description box of today's live. And let me check real quick to see if I missed anything in the chat. Everyone seems to think the hats are cute.
Just darling.
Okay, I think I got everything. Okay.
Sorry, Sophie's bumping the table. She decided it's time for some attention.
So Sophie, she can show her face.
Oh, she can't get to the front. Let me see if I'll turn it in.
Aw.
Hey, Miss Sophie. Nope, she's leaving.
Aw.
Camera shy. The other dog is in the spot where she would go if she was going to get up here. So he's taking a nap. Let's see. Can you all see Joe? There's Mr. Joe. He's taking a nap.
Hey Joe. Yeah. So Sophie's been a big love bug lately. my Sophie.
You're Sophie, yeah. Oh, she heard you say it, and here she came over. They wanted to see you, but you left. Okay, all right. Here we go. Can you see her?
Hi,
There's Miss
Sophie.
Sophie. There's Miss Sophie. Yes.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
a licker. She's a kisser.
Aw. Yeah, my Sophie's a cat. Robin's Sophie is a dog. But
Bumping my table, Soph.
I always love seeing everyone's pets. And really,
Mhm.
I'm thinking about doing another pet video too coming up. It's been a while. I like seeing everyone's pets.
Don't bump it.
So, do you have anything you would like to say before we finish up?
Oh, just thank you guys so much for all of your support and help. It's been wonderful. We have such a wonderful community. I do have some surprises coming up in the next couple of weeks, and I hope you'll pop over and watch my lives, typically Tuesdays. And other than that, hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Sophie's over here bumping the table.
And I do want to thank everyone for watching today
Mhm.
and coming and chatting with us. I enjoyed chatting with all of y'all. And those that are watching on replay, I do want to thank y'all for watching too. And please leave a comment to let us know that you watched. Feel free to answer any questions that we asked in today's live. And I hope y'all all have a fabulous Yorny day. Oh, one thing, who's live after me? Does anyone know who comes live after me? But yeah, go raid whoever's live after me. Tell
Go
them it's
raid
a
someone.
what's that?
So go raid someone. Tell them Connie sent you.
Yeah, tell them it's an alien invasion. If y'all go raid somebody.
And don't
Oh,
forget, my drawing is going to be a couple days early for the Just Because collab. So I'm going to be doing that on Wednesday. And because I won't have internet service after Wednesday.
and all the videos are now up.
Mhm.
I had a few people that didn't get their videos up, but we're just gonna make do without those videos. I figure life probably happened with them. So, but
And there's
anyway,
a lot. You've got over 30, don't you?
yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember exactly how many are actually up.
There's a lot. Yeah, I've got my little gift all in the bag, all ready to go. Just got to pick a winner.
But yeah, I've been like really happy with like the turnout from that collab. And I've met a lot of new people and gotten to chit chatting with them, and it's been amazing. But anyway, I hope y'all are all having a fabulous Yorny day. Be the light, and bye.
Who tell 'em?